Hello to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. We hope your Christmases was bright and merry, just as you are. Today, we are going to break down 2 episodes of What If Season 3. And when I say we, I mean myself, Megan Nicole from the Vigilante Vibes podcast, and LJ from reading Bleeding Rainbow Comics.
You're a mess today.
I'm a mess today.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We are back to review 2 episodes of What If Season 3. Episode 4 is titled What If Howard the Duck Got Hitched? And What If Season 5... What If Episode 5... What If the Emergence Destroyed the Earth? That's right, it's a double feature, if we can make it through it. I don't know. I am worried.
Do you want me to do some reading?
I got it. I don't know. I think Christmas just ruined me. Just
deep breath.
All right, so to get to it, we're going to give you a little breakdown. Then we'll tell you our thoughts. Starting off, after meeting at Thor's party in Season 1, it's revealed that Darcy Lewis and Howard the Duck got married and gave birth to an egg. Because why wouldn't they? All thanks to their date over half-price nachos in Las Vegas, where they also got married by an Elvis impersonator, might I add. Living on Earth where humans and aliens have now found a way to coexist after Party Thor's antics, the Ducks are invited to stay aboard the Grandmaster's cruise ship, though it's quickly revealed to be a ruse so he can eat their unhatched child. Once the Ravagers steal the egg, Darcy and Howard learn from S.H.I.E.L.D. that it's believed that their baby holds cosmic power and significance as they were born on the day of the Convergence. Even Nick Fury and Phil Coulson fear what could happen to the universe if the egg falls into the wrong hands. Taking the egg from Yondu, Caecilius and his zealots... Caecilius. Jesus. And his zealots enact a ritual to turn the child into a host body for Dormammu, only for Darcy and Howard to interrupt the ceremony, followed closely by S.H.I.E.L.D. and a force of Skrulls. Escaping with the egg, Darcy and Howard hide out in Jotunheim, which frost giant Loki is trying to turn into a destination ski resort. Darcy and Howard end up running from S.H.I.E.L.D. and multiple MCU foes who all want the egg for themselves, only for the egg to start hatching, unleashing a powerful cosmic energy that destroys several of the MCU's biggest bads as the duck hybrid baby emerges. S.H.I.E.L.D. decides to trust that Darcy and Howard can take care of the powerful baby themselves. What did you think?
So, this week in fan fiction gone wild, as soon as this episode started, it clicked for me, because one thing that I've been super excited for this season was Natasha Lyonne's character, the bird person.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked over at Wynn and I was like, how much you want to bet this stupid egg is Natasha Lyonne? And then at the end, when Darcy was like, oh, our birdie, I was like, damn it, that's the name of the character that Natasha's playing.
Oh my God.
That's an interesting reveal that Natasha Lyonne is the daughter of Darcy Lewis and Howard the Duck.
This was the most what if episode I've ever seen in all my days. I think we're all kind of wondering, so Darcy and Howard did it somehow. And she birthed an egg without cracking the egg. I just need some specifics, I guess.
I think Darcy would, out of all the people in the MCU, Darcy would probably be most willing to give you all of the deets.
I know. I really need to ask her, because there's so much that happened in this episode. So many weird things. First of all, Howard the Duck, you seem like a smart duck. And you thought the Grandmaster was really just going to let the parents have a night off and watch your child for you. Come on.
Listen, you out of all people know that if free babysitting is offered, you at least consider it, no matter the stakes.
Not by robots. At that point, you kind of give yourself pause. You're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, see, that's where we differ. I'd be like, you know what? I'll take my chances. Bye. I'll pick you up later. Why I have no human children.
it's it's not for the weak-hearted, I will say that. I think my kids could break a robot pretty easy. But this was I thought it was a really fun episode. It was very strange. At one point I got annoyed at Darcy's voice. Every time she said, "Howard," I was like, "Oh my god, Darcy, shut up and do it yourself."
Well, also it's because Kat Dennings also has me and her have the same curse. We have nasally voices, and after a while, great that I'm in media and that we both are. But after a while, you hear the pinginess in the voice, and no matter what she says. But I love her, and I will willingly put up with it every second that she's on screen. But no, that's where that irritation comes from. It's because both of us have very nasally, pingy voices. Me more than ever because I can't breathe through my nose, so it's all. But
well, I don't think it was the nasaliness.
Just the complaining.
It was just the yell. Like every time she said something, it was a yell. It's like, Darcy, girl, you're going through it. I get it, but you're like twice Howard's size. You can take longer steps than him. I'm gonna need you to do something here.
She did. She joined in on singing. That's what Darcy does best.
That song will be in my head forever.
If we were going to get a what if Darcy, I would have preferred... I mean, this was a good what if. I'll give it that. It was a good episode. But if we were going to get a what if episode with Darcy, I would have preferred that we get Darcy kind of how she is in the Steve Orlando Scarlet Witch comics right now. How she's like sorceress assistant. But no, this was very out of left field, very what if. And it still felt very Marvel. It brought in the heavy hitters, and I don't know, it felt very what if to me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it did feel very... That's what I'm saying. Like, it was super what if. It had all the randomness, I didn't never think this would ever happen. But
yeah,
it was a good episode. I'll give them that.
What if it did? I mean, I really enjoyed the episode. I think it was different, and I will take any excuse to get more Kat Dennings in any project. It was definitely really weird, but I think that it was done well. And it was quirky, goofy, everything that it was supposed to be given the writing of the episode.
So what would you give the episode out of 10?
I'm going to say this one was a 7 for me.
I would say 8. All right, let me get that down really quick. Since I've been recording
these. We can't have the same score. That would be illegal.
All right, so you said 7, and I said 8. Okay. All right. I think
had I rated both of them when they dropped instead of rating yesterday's and today's today, I think I might have gone a little bit higher, but compared to today's episode, I thought today's episode was better. So I think that's why it got drugged down a little bit.
I get that. I think I'd happen to agree with you. Speaking of what if, Season 3, Episode 5, titled What If the Emergence Destroyed the Earth, which came out today, a much more serious episode. But it had my girl Riri Williams in it, who I adore so much. So I'm so excited she was in it.
No, I'm super happy about Riri. I feel like this was necessary before Ironheart comes out to kind of palate cleanse the character for some people. And if you don't like Riri after this episode, you just don't want to like Riri because she's done very well. Dominic Thorne is doing a great job. I actually think she did a great job in Wakanda Forever with what she got to do. But no, I think that this episode was important in setting the future. Kind of like how we talked about how they're really focusing on Red Guardian and people that we're going to see in the future. I think that this was another one of those episodes. And then also seeing White Vision after WandaVision was nice because it happened for a blip of a second and then we never saw him again. So I'm excited to see more Vision. And I mean, leading up to Vision Quest, again, they're setting up their people. And it makes me excited for Ironheart because, I mean, it's one of those shows you're not necessarily that excited about until you see what they're doing. Like, I still don't understand where they're going with the show. I haven't seen enough. But this got me excited for the Ironheart show, because if she's anything in that show like she is in this What If episode, I think she's going to be a really good character. Like, I need Riri White Vision hybrid in the MCU. That was sweet.
I agree. There are two characters that shouldn't go together, but they went together really, really well. Riri, I agree. If you don't like Riri now, then there's nothing you can do. This was such a good episode for her. I'm so glad to see Dominic Thorne back as Riri Williams, because we have all been waiting for Ironheart, the show, for so long.
So has she.
So has she. That poor girl has just been... I feel bad. But
it's like, I would really love for my career to take off, but none of my projects will release. So,
it is so sad. They're just
one weird thing was getting Quentin Beck back, but having him very like end of life Darth Vader-y instead of looking like Quentin Beck. That was an interesting choice, but I thought that it fit. I don't know. I think that I like what they did with this episode. I like who they brought in, and none of them overshadowed Riri, which was good. It showed White Vision could kick ass. He didn't take names, though. He didn't care about any of them. And with Quentin being like Iron Man light in the science department, it is believable that he could do all of those things. And him and Riri were a weird pair, but they made a lot of sense going together. And so that's something you would never get in the MCU, most likely. So I think that this episode was a perfect example of What If. And since The Watcher was in it so much, it really felt like it fit in this show.
I agree. First of all, that was not Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. I wonder if they couldn't do that because that was a Sony movie.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I wonder if they had to make it a different Mysterio.
I don't know, because they've used Spider-Man in What If before.
That's true.
And I mean, his suit was different, but his face looked similar.
They
wasn't voiced by Tom Holland, but
no, they tried their best. But Mysterio they had no right to make Mysterio as creepy as they did, but it fit very, very well. White Vision was just an asshole that entire time. So I think that...
Listen, he doesn't have feelings anymore, okay? Give him a break.
He has some feelings because he was so mad. He hated her. But it was pretty dark for her to put on the Vision suit, skin. You know what? It makes more sense if I actually explain what happened here to some who do not watch it.
Okay, let's do that.
It is revealed that Riri Williams Ironheart is the last best hope in every variation of this dark new reality, but that she fails every single time. God bless her. Riri meets with Sharon Carter's power broker, who sells her an easy bake oven, which will help her build a new weapon. Attacked by White Vision in a collection of Iron Legionaries, though some are only holograms, Riri is rescued by the Resistance, General Ming-Na, Okoye, Wong, and Valkyrie. Uatu reveals that Tiamat emerged well before the Eternals could become, the Eternals, to stop it and break the Earth in the process. Mysterio used the chaos to take over Stark Industries and rule the world using his hologram tech and his Iron Legion, creating a new Iron Federation led by his enforcer, White Vision. Nearing his final days, Mysterio wanted to ensure that the Resistance fell before he did, sending White Vision to annihilate them before he died. With the Resistance help, Riri builds her weapon, kills White Vision, which was awesome, though she and those who saved her are the only members of the Alliance left. Turning White Vision's synthezoid body into a new suit, Riri becomes half human and half synthezoid. allowing her to see Mysterio's illusions, and she can identify what's real, what's not, but temporarily, of course. Mysterio ultimately gains the upper hand after killing the last of the Resistance and nearly kills Riri, wanting to take her suit to prolong his life. Atu intervenes, encouraging Riri to keep fighting. Riri stands up and phases through Mysterio, taking his nanites and defeating the dystopian dictator before generating a giant Avenger symbol in the sky to bring hope to those who still live on the broken earth. A trio of Watchers witnesses Atu breaking his oath yet again, and they all agree that they must now watch the Watcher going forward.
I really liked how they did his holograms this episode, because that was one thing that I was kind of keeping track of is, okay, are we going to do any like mind trick stuff, or is it just holographic projections of the Iron Legion and turrets and stuff like that? And so I like how having it to where she never left the battlefield, everybody's actually dead. Like, I also, Dominique Thorne did a really good job voice acting this episode.
She did.
Like, you know how difficult it is for a voice actor to do all of the like awkward screaming and crying and stuff? Like, it's very difficult, and I do wonder if she has any voiceover work, because you could not tell it was her first time. Like, she had skill.
I agree. She really knocked it out of the park. I think she really showed that she can kill voice acting. She can nail regular acting. We're all sleeping on her, and it's just not fair. And I'm here to say that I will stand for none of that. But this episode, they did not have to show Okoye dead so many times. I think it was like two or three times. It was 2 or 3 times, and I was like, but the others were just like a blink. With her, it's like this face will stay in your head forever.
I think that was the one where she would be able to relate to the most. And so we were showing, this is what you could be. You're going to be dead soon. And I don't know. I think of all of them, I think us seeing Okoye dead would have been the most impactful of the rebels. I've already seen enough dead sorcerers in Multiverse of Madness. We needed something different. And seeing, I think, the toughest one, especially being Okoye and being a Wakandan, Dora Milaje, I think seeing her fall would have been the most impactful, so it made the most sense.
That makes sense. Plus, we saw Okoye and Dominic Ironheart together, so it was like they already had that kind of relationship. So we were like, no, her only friend. But I loved the team, the Resistance, the Alliance. I liked them. I liked Wong, Ming-Na, all of them together. I thought that was a really well put together team, which didn't work out for them.
Marvel is really just putting all of their eggs into Wong's basket. Like, every project, they're like, can we put Wong in this and make it make sense? And why not? What do we need to change in order to make that happen?
Like, they have so much stake into Wong. It's so funny to me.
I mean, he's a good character, and Benedict Wong is a team player. Like, he will show up and do whatever.
He doesn't care.
She-Hulk was glorious.
True. He doesn't care what movie it is. He's going to show up and he's going to show out, which he has done every time. So I know people were getting sick of Wong, but like, I love him, and if it isn't Wong, it isn't right. Like, I love him.
And you know what? Boy's getting paid, so you know what? Good for him.
Right. Let the man earn his money, giving us good content. Who cares? We're good.
Say, this is like all he does. Let him get some paychecks.
And plus, like, you know, when you have a glow up, like you lose some weight, you look really nice. You're like, I want everyone to see me. That's what he did. He had a glow up, and now he's like, everyone look at me. And I think that it is so relatable. I love it so much.
I'll say I'm ready for my post-Christmas glow up. We got to lose some of that December weight now.
I feel that, yes. The hibernation weight. But not Wong.
Here in the last month, my Santa cheeks have really been jolly, we'll say.
My
But
contour has had to be a little darker this time around, so it's like, whoa, calm down, Megan. No more candy canes.
well, it's fine. Maybe I'll age into my David Harbour phase. People seem obsessed with him.
That's a good phase. I don't know why. He's just so freaking hot. I don't get it. I don't. And I think he is, and I just don't get it.
So we need to do a co-interview with David next.
Probably. I think that's the best thing we should do. But
Start a petition.
I'd love to get his opinion on What If because it's just so random. And his episode was so random with Bucky. So it just it makes sense that we go that route. But this episode, what would you give this episode? You said you liked it more than the predecessor.
Yes, I would actually give this episode like an 8.5.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I'm rating it higher than the Agatha episode.
Oh
Shocking
my
turn of
gosh.
events.
All right, 8.5. I think I
just really like the concept. It was simple. They stuck to it. It wasn't too far-fetched. It was one clear concept that they really went through, and they really made it cool. And what they set out to do, they accomplished it. And
That's
so they
fair.
had a clear vision. They did it. It was great.
That's fair. Man, I'd say like a 7.5. 7.5. I think they did really well. No, because that twist at the end with them watching the Watcher kind of ups it for me. I'm going to say 8.2.
There we go. We're not even in the 0.5 spectrum now. We're in the 0.1s.
Well,
But I mean, I was gonna say the thing I like about it, other than all of the good stuff within the episode, is that it ties it into the actual What If storyline. And so, like, we don't know who all of these people are going to be in the finale and all that kind of stuff, but it's clear that ultra superpowered Riri will be. Because we have 3 episodes left. What If 1872, which I don't really see that pulling anything back in. But then What If the Watcher disappeared, and just What If. And so I enjoy the short What If episodes and all that good stuff, but I more enjoy how they all get kind of strung together in the overall narrative that it's trying to say. And before this episode, we really didn't have too much of that, at least hinting, going forward. But now we finally got it, and I'm like, yes, we're finally there. Get me there. Because I'm impatient.
I get that. I'm very curious what the last episode will be, but Marvel is so good at keeping the What If content secret. So we don't know. What if the Watcher disappears? What if the Watcher disappears? I don't know. He doesn't do anything. I guess he did this episode, so.
Well, the nice thing about What If for me is that a lot of the other Marvel content, I obsessively watch trailers and I obsessively theorize. And this is just one of those that I kind of lay under the radar and I experience it as it comes. And so that's why I kind of like What If, is because it is lower stakes. I'm not as obsessive with it. And it's all of it's new. Like, I didn't even realize Howard the Duck, like, that there was any type of egg happen. Like, there's stuff, if you look close enough in the material, like the poster that they list all of the episodes, there's a very huge clear picture of Riri as wearing White Vision's stuff. And I didn't even look at the picture close enough to do that. So it's stuff like that, to where, like, nice little surprises. Oh, that's neat. I like that. Or I like what they did there. And so, I don't know. That's why I like What If, is because it's just completely, it's supposed to be brain rot.
Unhinged. It's so unhinged.
Yes.
Like that Howard the Duck episode.
It doesn't have to always make sense.
No, and it usually doesn't. I'd say this one didn't make too much sense just because we don't know where it's leading to. And I think it was there to show, like, the Watcher, he's in some kind of trouble.
He's over it.
Howard the Duck episode, that was just to introduce Birdie, which is a new exclusive MCU character, which I like.
I mean, Natasha Lyonne is in Fantastic Four. It's unknown whether or not she's playing Birdie or a different character, though. So that's what me and Lynn have been going back and forth on, and who she's playing. And I guess we'll have to see that episode. I am assuming it will be one of the last 2 episodes, because on this poster we still have Captain Carter, we have Thor Storm, and Kahorti, all in that Natasha Lyonne episode. So I'm assuming the last 2 episodes are going to be bangers, just because I want to see all of these things come together.
Yeah, I don't quite know what's going to happen in tomorrow's episode of, 1872? Or 1782? Yes. Oh.
1872.
I don't know what it's going to be, but it just feels so oddly placed.
Yeah, I was going to say, now that we've seen 5 of the episodes, I would have 100% changed the order of the episodes. So I actually would have had What If the Hulk fought the Mech Avengers today, the day after Christmas. And so that way you build up like enough goodwill up to it, and you're like, oh, it's the day after Christmas, the weakest episode, like, because the one that is on Christmas should be a big one. So I actually would have put the Mech Avengers one today, and I would have probably done the Red Guardian Winter Soldier one first.
That's not bad. I think I would have put Darcy and Howard's first. Just kind of let that build.
That was your Christmas miracle, their baby.
But I didn't watch it on Christmas. I didn't have time.
That's fair. Listen, Megan, that's on you.
I know. I know.
But no, I was saying because the Red Guardian Winter Soldier one is the most like Dude Bro Marvel one. So I figured that would be the one that would catch the most people's attention to want to keep watching. Unlike Mech Avengers. But
yeah, that's just... I'm still mad about that episode, but I'll get through it.
We'll persevere, as long as they bring Monica back in some meaningful way.
True, we still have to see her. And Captain America. Oh, this next 3 episodes are going to be packed.
Yeah.
All right.
I was about to say, and is there anything even on this that indicates the old-timey one? Is that the one where it's Kate Bishop and Shang-Chi on horses, maybe?
It is.
That would make sense. Okay. Then I'm excited for tomorrow's episode, because I will take any Haley Steinfeld that I can get.
I agree, and Shang-Chi. So, that is our reviews for both episodes. Stick around for this next few days, 3 days, I think.
Yes.
As we review each and every episode of What If Season 3, wherever you're watching this or listening to this episode, be sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our reviews or all the exciting content in between. LJ, where can we find you?
You can find me everywhere but Twitter, because Twitter sucks. You can look up Bleeding Rainbow Comics on YouTube and Facebook and branch out from there. Those are our 2 big ones. So Facebook to tell about what's happening on our comic space and our YouTube space, and then YouTube for our media presence. So yeah, Bleeding Rainbow Comics. Come find me, but not in a creepy way.
Definitely not
in a creepy way.
Whichever.
Hey, a view is a view.
True, a follow is a follow. We're good with it. So you can find me everywhere by searching Vigilante Vibes Podcast, or make it easy, you can just check my website, vigilantevibespodcast.com. Thank you for tuning in, and have a marvelous day.